Afternoon again. Okay, we have a lot of people on the call right now. We have let me see one who do we have? There's Chiamaka Joy on this call. Hi, how are you? There is Ojonuyo Oji. I don't know if that's correct. And we have Paul John and the cyber leads alongside our guest. Good afternoon, everyone. Please, if you can hear me, you can send me an emoji. Let me know that I'm not talking to myself. Okay. Okay. That's from the cyber leads, Paul. Paul John. Paul John, can I crack a joke? Paul John, answer me now. See this joke, you're going to like it though. It's about you. I think I know you. Okay, so Paul John, I want to say something. Only you are bearing two apostles' name. Do you know the kind of martyr that Paul went through and the kind of hot palm oil that they poured on John the beloved? Only you two Bible names. Hey, I'm so scared for you, but it's fine. I'm sure you're going to show me your true color on this program today. So, my people, if you've not invited your friends, that we're starting already on setting and tracking your cybersecurity goals for 2026, I feel like this is the right time for you to go back to your DMs, to your WhatsApp status, repost aggressively and tell them that it's happening right here this afternoon. Everything still everywhere, Semo is happening right here. From the Office of Cyber Cadabra, yes. And I'm sure a lot of people will be wondering what is Cadabra. Yes, I'm going to tell you what it means and what everything means. So I'm going to be giving you just a minute to go back, tell that your friend that Benny for your 2026. I know say they always set goals, but they always fulfill them. Enter this show now. Let's come and set our goals together. So in 1 minute, I'm just to be doing that. Yes, you can repost the link. Mr. Kennedy has already dropped that. Yeah, please don't forget that we are retweeting. Oh, sorry, I said retweeting. We are reposting aggressively that we are live. So call that friend that is sleeping. Everybody should join the call. So by 1:10, we're going to be starting appropriately. Like we're going to be going into the details of what we have for everyone this afternoon. Trust me, it is very hot. Like on not fairly. So we're coming back. By 1:10, everyone should be on the call and we are starting. All right, everyone, welcome back. And yes, if you're just joining us, this is our first webinar from the Office of Cyber Cadabra. I can see so many other persons have joined. Yeah, we have Marvelous, we have Olaide, Oluwaseyi, Oluwatobi, Paul John, the cyber lead, and more Marvelous. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome again to the first episode of our webinar. Yes, more Marvelous. Got you. Thank you for clapping. The rest of it, I don't know why you're not clapping, but it's fine. It's fine. I know what to make them clap very soon. So, yeah, from the Office of Cyber Cadabra today, we are looking at setting and tracking your cyber security goals for 2025. Yeah, thank you for joining us today. It truly means a lot to have you here. My own name is Favor Orok. I'm an event host, and also I'm the brand strategy for the Office of Cyber Cadabra. So I'll be hosting today's session on setting and tracking your cybersecurity goals for 2026. Rather, I said 2025 the other time. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I take that back. 2026. Before we dive in, let me tell you a little story about Cyber Cadabra. Cyber Cadabra was born from a simple but powerful observation by our founder, and that's because it saw a growing gap between the cyberspace and everyday netizens. And when I mean netizens, I mean people who use the internet daily. On one side, technology was advancing rapidly. On the other, people were being left behind, confused, exposed, and often unprotected. And if you look at what Cyber Cadabra stands from, it means democratizing cybersecurity. And when you're democratizing something, it means you're breaking them down into bits. You're breaking it bit by bit. Cybersecurity felt really distant for people, felt very complex and exclusive, and that gap can be very, very dangerous. So cybersecurity was created with one clear mission to democratize cybersecurity rather, yes, to make it very understandable, accessible, and also very relevant to everyone and not just experts alone. But here's something that is very important. Even though we are a cybersecurity brand, we are not limited to the digital space. Security should not just be about website. It is not about people. It's about our future. It's about a whole lot of people, not just one person, rather. And that's why Cyber Cadabra has collaborated in recent time with the Basketball Cave to provide 500 basketball shoes to children who cannot afford them. Please, who is clapping on this call? Who is clapping? Because it is not easy. Go easy. Who is clapping on this call? Yup, 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 yup. Yeah, so we are collaborating with the basketball cave to provide 500 basketball shoes to children who cannot afford them. Because just as cybersecurity protects website and data, giving a child the right support helps secure their future. So we are securing other people's future. We're securing their lives too. And we are not stopping there also. In March, yes, March 2026, we're going to be collaborating with the Student Union Government of Yaba College of Technology on an initiative that is focused on women's welfare. So you can see that we are also a feminist. Let me put it that way. We can be a feminist and we cannot be a feminist. We are all rounder. Yeah. So we're focusing on the women's welfare, specifically around reproductive awareness and education, meaning that Cyber Cadabra is not limited at all to the digital space, because security also means knowledge, dignity, and well-being. So today's conversation about setting and tracking your cybersecurity goals for 2026 isn't just about the tools or the timeline. It's about discipline, it's about your intention, and it's about protection, and it's about building systems that actually help you grow safely and sustainable. You could be a beginner, you could be a student, you could be a professional, or simply someone just trying to stay safe online. You are exactly where you need to be today. So with Jesus joy, I have with me our first guest speaker. With Jesus joy, help me welcome Mr. Emmanuel Alade, who is a cybersecurity professional with a master's degree in environmental management after pivoting into cybersecurity in 2023. He currently works as a fraud detection officer for the UK government. Oh, you people have stopped clapping. Please continue clapping. For the UK government, specializing in protecting systems and data from fraudulent activities. So with Jesus Joy, welcome Mr. Emmanuel Alade, the one and only Mr. Ayomipo. Yes, good afternoon, sir. He has a lot to expose to us this afternoon, and we are so excited to have you amongst us this afternoon. Mr. Ayomipo, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are listening from. And thank you very much, Joy. That was quite a lot, but I'll take it. I hope you are all doing good. If you're doing good, can you just pop some notification in the chat for me? Okay, thank you very much. So, first of all, I'd like to appreciate my boss, my own brother, Mr. Kendi Olugunde, for this wonderful initiative. And I would also like to thank the team of Cyber Cadabra at large for putting this amazing webinar together. You lot are very fantastic. And I'd like to thank everyone who has made it on this call for taking out time. You know, one of the things that every individual struggle with today is giving out their time, because time is one of your most important assets. And then coming to a webinar like this just to listen to a few people might sound so, might sound non-profitable to a lot of people, but for the fact that you lot have taken your time to be here today, I mean, you guys are fantastic and you are very, very amazing. So I believe you all deserve a round of applause for that. So very quickly, without taking much of our time, we'll just go right straight into the business of today. Okay. Okay. Just give me a minute, please. Okay. So we'll just go straight into the business of today. If you can see me, can I see you pop into notification? If you can see my screen. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, so today we'll be talking about a very important topic. I know a lot of people will be like, oh, how avoiding distraction. Oh, this is something that I do. I know how to avoid distractions. I know how to do this. I know how to do that. But there are certain things that we need to understand, because one of the things that is peculiar to us as humans is that every day we desire to grow and do better in whatever it is that we are doing. Growth is very essential and it is unavoidable. Now, I want you to understand that there are certain things that might be a stumbling block, or that would, deprive you from that aspiration to be better at whatever you wish to do. And one of the things that we'll be talking about today is distraction. Now, all of us on this call, including myself, we've all made plans for the year 2026. Some of us want to take certification courses. Some of us want to jump into another career path. In fact, some of us are planning on getting married in the year 2026. I mean, we've had that New Year resolution. These are the things I want to achieve. We have milestones we want to cover, a lot of things to do in the year 2026. But I want to tell you that one of your most prized possession, or one of the things that will help you to be able to achieve this, is your focus. How focused are you in the year 2026, or how focused will you be in the year 2026? Now, you agree with me that when you woke up this morning, a lot of us, I mean, a number of us, the first thing we do is to, check our phones to see what is happening, what is trending. Has anybody tried to reach out to me? Some of us are looking out for messages, and then we lost track of what we should be doing at that particular time. Now, what do I mean? Some of us have set the time for, when I wake up in the morning, part of the New Year resolution. When I wake up in the morning, I want to pray. When I wake up in the morning, I want to read my Bible. When I wake up in the morning, I want to do God knows whatever it is you are planning to do in the morning. But because of the unending distraction in our world today, from the area of technology, it would actually restrict us from being able to achieve all of these things. So in the next few minutes, I will take you through some of the things that is stealing, or some of the things that are stealing our focus and is not, helping us. 2025, a lot of us set goals. And then some of us even did balance brought down. We brought in goals from 2025 into the year 2026. That is because some of us were not focused enough to be able to put in the work to achieve those goals. Now, how many of you agree with me that the world we live in today, there are constant notifications on ending content streams? Now we have the world of Twitch. So many of us spend time watching the likes of Kata Efe, Pella, watching their content, how fantastic and, how engaging those content is, whereby depriving ourselves of some of the things that we are supposed to be doing at that particular time. Now, in the world we live in today, we have pressure to always be online. Now, there is this thing that happens to so many of us where we feel like, I need to know what is trending. I need to know what is going on. If you are having a conversation with your friends and then you feel like they're talking about something and then you are not able to wrap your head around it, there is this constant, or there's this pressure to want to know exactly what is going on, what is trending. A lot of us spend time on Twitter, a lot of us spend time on TikTok watching videos of our favorite influencers, our favorite celebrities. I mean, these are things that we see every day. These are things that anytime you wake up, you cannot just get yourself out of it. Everybody on this call, we all have a digital device. We have a phone. If you're not using a phone, you're using a laptop. If you're not using a laptop, you're using an iPad. And there are constant notification. All of these devices have been built so much that there are constant notification popping up on every of these devices that is struggling and fighting our attention, struggling and fighting our focus. And we cannot just help ourselves out of this. Every day, in fact, some of us even set notifications for specific things. There was a point in my life where I used to say there was this, what's it called? I think in 2020. So most of the celebrities oftentimes do this giveaway. And then there were a few of them that I used to like pop up. Like I designed my phone in such a way that when they are online and they are doing their giveaway, their notification gives me that it pops up on my phone as a notification, and then it tells me, oh, there's a giveaway going there. Sometimes I might be doing something very important and immediately I get that notification, I leave what I'm doing just because I want to be a part of that giveaway. Now, everybody on this call will agree with me that at one point or the other, this is a battle that they have constantly been faced with. And I want you to understand that your attention, your focus is your most valuable digital assets. We'll get there. I'll tell you why I said this. Because for you to be able to achieve whatever it is you have set for the year 2026, you must understand that there is a level of focus, there's a level of attention that you'll be willing to give to that goal, to that ambition, or whatever it is that you have set for yourself in this year. Now, I would like to take us through what digital distraction is. Anything that pulls your attention away from priority task, social media, email, chats, alerts, internal discussion, fear of missing out, the FOMO, anxiety. Now, you will agree with me that, just like I said earlier, you will agree with me that so many times we might be studying, reading, in fact, at work, you might be given to a task at that particular time, but as soon as you get certain notification, it could be from social media, it could be email, it could be chats, your attention is suddenly divided. Now, it is so bad that I remember when I started working, when I just got this job, we were going through a number of trainings, and then there was this lady in my workplace that, because the training we were going through was so engaging that they they put us into breakout sessions to discuss all of the things that we were being taught. And then this person is sitting right in front of the system, just like everybody else. And this person is listening to the same thing. But at the end of the day, this person asks you, can you please tell me what we are supposed to do? Now, this didn't happen once, this happened twice. It was something that kept happening. And then at some point, I was beginning to get pissed. Like, we are listening to the same thing. We are being taught the same thing. So why exactly would you always come to tell me that, can you please tell me what we are supposed to do? Now, I realize that she's always on her phone, always chatting away, always doing God knows what, and then distracting her from that which she's supposed to be doing. So many of you will agree with me that over time, one of the major problem or one of the major struggle that we have in our world today is our ability to remain focused on a given task. Prioritizing tasks is a skill now in the world that we live in today, because those notifications will just come. You will just have the urge to check, oh, what is it? What exactly is happening? Especially when it is something that we're interested in. For many of us, we have tasks, we have things that we listen to that is, as soon as we get the notification, we just cannot help but want to check them, irrespective of the task that we are given. Now, I want you to understand that it is not just this distraction happens in our everyday life, but because of the peculiarity of what we are discussing today, which is cybersecurity, I'll be going through how this is a problem in the world of cybersecurity, how distractions, how losing focus is a problem in the world of cybersecurity. Now, I want to believe that so many of us know what a phishing mail is. Now, phishing mails succeed because of inattention. Now, if imagine you are at the office and then you are probably chatting away, or you are looking through your favorite influencer or your favorite content creator, and then your attention, don't forget that your attention is already divided because of the time that you are giving into looking at all of these things. You have very little attention to give into other things. And don't forget that some of these things, whatever it is you love, you will find it very engaging. Now, for some of us that watch football, trust me, you don't want to get distracted when your favorite team is playing football. In as much as you might have things pending important to do, you don't want to lose that focus that you have given to that match, such that even if anything is happening, even if they are talking to you, you would not give 100% attention to it. For example, I play video game a lot. Whenever I am playing video game, FIFA, no matter what you are telling me, I'm not going to listen to you. In fact, if I notice that, okay, it is a conversation that I need to be a part of, and at the same time, I am playing this video game, I'd rather nod my head or tell you, like making you feel like I am engaged. But trust me, my focus, my attention is not with you at that particular time. Now, if you are at work and then you get a phishing email, because your attention has been divided, and because you don't have enough time to look through, and you know how tricky these emails can be, because you don't have the time, you have not given that attention to understand the content of that email, and then before you know what is happening, you are engaging with the email already. That is why it is very important that you prioritize whatever tasks you are given to do. Now, another reason why it is a problem in the world of cybersecurity today is because weak passwords are being reused out of convenience. Now, there was a time in my life before I started cybersecurity, I use the same password for everything that I do. I mean, if I open any email, if you know that password, you can pretty much have access to everything that I do. Both if you want to have, both I have password, the same kind of password for PIN, like if it's a PIN, all numbers, and the same thing if you need to add alphabet to it, I have the same kind of password. So bad that if you have access to one, just if you have access to just that password, you pretty much have access to all the accounts that you can think of. Now, why? Because of how I am not willing to, learn about the importance of building or having a strong password, because I am not giving so much attention, I have not given so much focus as to why I should be building a strong password. Now, another reason why this is a cybersecurity problem is it puts you in a position where you constantly ignore updates and security warning. Now, for example, if you are watching a video on, let's say, or you are watching a video on Instagram, possibly you are, and don't get me wrong, when I say distraction, it's not limited to content creation, skits. In fact, podcasts can be a distraction. Messages, excerpts from sermons, excerpts from motivational talks can also be a distraction. Now, distraction is what you are doing that is out of the tasks that you have prioritized. Now, you might want to give a justification to it that, oh, I am supposed to be learning Excel, for example. And then because you have this specific motivational speaker that you listen to, you might feel the justification to check it because you feel like you are learning from it. But I want you to understand that whatever task you have prioritized, whatever goal you have prioritized, whatever takes you out of that goal, takes you out of that task is a distraction, irrespective of the justification that you give to it. Now, if you are possibly going through an excerpt from motivational speaking, excerpts from sermons, and then you have a notification pop up on your phone, like an update, how many of you agree with me that you just pretty much swipe away because of how much attention you are giving to that particular content that you are watching at that particular time? So you don't have enough time to check through how important whatever notification that pops up, you don't want to check how important it is. So you pretty much just swipe it away. And this can pose risk or pose a certain level of threat if the attention is not given to it. And data leaks as well is also a problem that your lack of attention can cause. Because if you are, as a cybersecurity expert or whatever field you are, if your attention is divided, because for the kind of job that I do, one of the things that is required of you is 100% focus. Because in fraud detection, you are looking out for potential scams, you are looking out for potential errors, you are looking out for things that would pose a threat to the company at large. So tell me how you are going through a message on your phone, or you are going through what's it called? An article, you are reading an article, and then you would be able to pay 100% attention to what you are doing. You would make mistake. Let me give you a quick example, personal example. So there was this day, I was checking through a particular, there was a task I was given at work to look for some certain loopholes. So because I work hybrid, so there are days where I get to work from home. So on that specific day, I think I was seeing a movie. I don't know what I was doing exactly. So, and for every task you do, we have like a performance sheet where you pretty much just detail everything that you have done. So, and then I have a team that I work with. So everything that you do, you have a particular, for that performance sheet, every team member has their own specific place where they are to document whatever it is that they have done. And there are certain things that you are not supposed to put, certain information that you're not supposed to put. But because I think I was seeing a movie at that time, and then I opened this sheet and I was pretty much documenting everything on someone else's performance sheets. Thank God, thank God I just, for a second, the person just sent me a Teams message. And I'm like, because it's a live sheet, you see whoever it is, whatever they are doing. The person just sent me a message and told me, oh, because if you are writing on someone else's sheet, you will definitely see the name of somebody doing something on your sheet. And the person sent me a message, and then the person is telling me, oh, you have done this, you have done this, you have done this. Now imagine I was not doing it on the company's performance sheet. Imagine I was doing it somewhere else. This could result to data leak, and this could result to data breach. So you can see why it is important that whatever you are doing, there's a need for you to put your focus and your 100% attention into it. Because in the world of cybersecurity, you are looking out for threats, you are looking out for risk. So you cannot just play with the subject matter of focus. Now, moving on, the cost of distraction. Now, one of the major things that fuels procrastination is distraction. Now, there was a point in my life where I wouldn't say I'm 100%, but there's a point in my life where I used to have a lot of things I want to do. Oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, I want to do that. But then when I was doing a self-reflection, I understand that one of the major things taking my time is my distraction away from the task that I am supposed to do. That is why I am not being productive. Now, in the year 2026, so many of us have said, I want to get, for example, I want to write Cisco. I'm just citing an example in the year 2026. Now, you understand that for every goal you have set, you will definitely break them down into milestones for you to know, to keep a track record of how far so far you have gone. Now, let's say you say, I want to read at 9:30 p.m. at the cool of the evening when everything is pretty much settled. And then I'll read from 9:30 up until 10:30. Now, if you are somebody that you easily get distracted by notifications, or somebody just calls you at that particular time, and then day one, you talk, your friend just called you, and then you ended up gisting, and then you know what? Let me just sleep. Tomorrow is another day, I'll do it. And on the second day, while trying to also read at 9:30, maybe your favorite show just, starts playing, or your favorite program, something just happened that you are not, and then you begin to procrastinate. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next tomorrow. You would agree with me that 1 month, 2 months, 3 months will go by and you are not productive. That is how much distraction will cost anybody. So one of the things it does is it reduces productivity. So the more you procrastinate, the less productive you can become. And one of the chief fueler, or one of the things that fuels procrastination, is distraction. Because your inability to be given to your prioritized tasks will put you in a position where you begin to procrastinate each of those tasks. Now, another thing is it increases cyber risk. Now, look at the example I've given you. Just imagine it was an email I was sending. Maybe I needed to send an email I needed to send like a data to my boss at work. And then for some reasons, because of my distraction, because I was seeing a movie, and then I was just typing. And the funny thing, your brain does not multitask. It is you who multitasks. Your brain has been programmed to take, according to neuroscience, your brain has been programmed to take tasks one step at a time. So it is you as an individual who multitasks. That is why you are not able to keep track record of everything you are doing. You are not able to bring everything you are doing into one, because your brain has been designed to take tasks one at a time. So imagine I just pretty much sent that data to an unknown, or maybe I just replied a phishing mail, and then I just sent all of the data that I was supposed to send to probably my line manager or my team member or somebody that needs to see it. I'd exposed that company or my team to cyber risk. And another thing it does is burns out and decision fatigue. Now, if you wake up in the morning, I believe many of you will agree with me. If you wake up in the morning and then the first thing you do is to pick up your phone, do you know that for that day you become fatigued? You don't get productive. You do very little. You become suddenly burned out, because one of the things you have done is you have exposed yourself to your screen. So it affects you. It creates this anxiety such that you are not able to become productive for that day. Before you know, you spend the whole day scrolling through the internet and you're not able to give an account as to whatever productive thing you have done on the internet. So one of the things that distraction cost rather is that it puts you in a position where you are fatigued, even in your decision making, and it keeps you burned out, and then it gives you a level of anxiety. And lastly, poor personal and professional growth. I think I touched on that. If you have set, I believe everybody would have set goal for the year: professional goal, spiritual growth, professional growth, spiritual growth, financial growth. If you are distracted, because you would break those goals into milestones, into everyday activities, such that it fits into your everyday activity. And the funny thing is that if you say you want to do a particular task from, let's say, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m., you agree with me that if you don't do it day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, that becomes the end of that task. I believe many of you will agree with me. It happens to me a whole lot of time. I can say, okay, let me give you a good example. I've been trying to practice for my driving tests. And then I said every 9 o'clock, I would always read, because you have to do two types of tests, the practical test and the theory test. So I told myself that I would always read every 9 p.m. at the cool of the day for my theory tests. I missed it the first time. I tried to do it the second time. I tried to do it the third time. I missed it the fourth time. Long story short, the last time I checked through that thing was last year. I've not opened it this year. Fine, it might look like it's just driving, I can get, but it's a goal. It's something that I had said before the end of 2026, I want to start driving. But because, and I broke it down, how do I achieve this? Okay, 9 p.m. every day, I would read towards my theory tests. But because day one, day two, I lost consistency. That's why another thing distraction does is it robs you of consistency. If you are distracted, if you are constantly distracted, you will be robbed off of consistency. You will struggle with consistency. And consistency is needed, is in fact, is one of the essential ingredients whenever you are working towards becoming a better person, be it in your career, in your finance, in your whatever sphere of life. Distraction is going to rob you of consistency. Now, that is why it is costly. It's distraction does more harm than good to us as an individual. Now, I've been talking about distraction. I've been talking about the risk, the cost, the disadvantage, what it does to us as humans. Now, let's go through practical ways to reduce distraction. Now, before I go through what I have here, let me give you one of the things that I do. I'm sure it's going to help one or two persons. Whenever I want to study, just give me a minute, please. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I'm almost done. I hope my time is not yet up.
Yeah, you're supposed to actually finish by 1:40, but we did graduate maybe 2 minutes more.
Oh, okay. Just give me 5 minutes and then I'm done. Just 5 minutes and I'm done. Okay. So just give me 5 minutes and then I'm done. So because it's very essential that we talk about, it's not enough to just talk about what distraction is and how much it can cost us. It's very important that we talk about practical ways to reduce distraction. So I will not talk much about what is here. I'll just pretty much reach through, and then I will give you practical things that I have done personally that has helped me reduce distraction. Now, disable non-essential notification. You know the drill. Notifications that you are not expecting, notifications that you do not want, you disable them. Schedule focused work time. If you know that there are specific time, choose the time that work for you and then work with that time. Separate work tools from personal app. If you have a system that you use to work, design, separate it from, don't download or don't put WhatsApp, don't put applications that you know can easily distract you. Be intentional with the use of social media. Now, I think that one is something that a lot of people have been preaching. A lot of people have, because one thing social media will do, as much as it is a very beautiful platform, as much as you can learn from social media, if you are not disciplined enough to know when to start and when to stop, it will rob you off of a lot of things. So you have to be very intentional about the use of social media. Now, I'll just tell you what I do. Whenever I want to study, whenever I want to read or study, what I do is I hide my phone. In fact, I give it to, I have a neighbor, I give it to my neighbor. Oh, can you take my phone? I am going to come back so and so time for it. Another thing I do is that I do social media detox. I'm not saying everybody should do this, but once in 3 months, I just uninstall Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, and then sometimes WhatsApp. So if for the people that are very important that I need to reach out to, I would use a different number. I have two numbers. I'll use a different WhatsApp to reach out to them. So whenever I reach out to them, they know that I am doing a social media detox. Now, all of this is to help me stay focused and to help me fulfill all that I have set to do within the period that I said I was going to do them. So because of my time, another way you can, another thing Focus can do for you as a cybersecurity expert is that Focus helps you improve your judgments. It helps you take better decisions. When you are focused, you would not make mistakes. Even if you make a mistake, it's something that you can easily correct because of the amount of focus you have put into it. Now, Focus helps improve security decisions. It helps you improve security decisions, and it improves learning and growth. Now, actionable steps that you can take: audit your digital behavior. Just like I say, I do social media detox. You can do a self-reflection. Oh, the good thing about your device is the screen time. The screen time tells you how much time you are spending. So you can use that to set a particular goal, use that to audit your digital habits, identify your top three distractions. For me, I would say one of my major distractions that I found out over time is TikTok. That's why 1 minute I uninstall the app, and then the next minute I bring it back. Whenever I need to, I uninstall, and whenever I don't, I bring it back. And then make one immediate change today. So one of the things that you can start with today is to do a self-reflection. Identify, I have written this plan for year 2026. As much as you have written your plan and you have broken them into milestones and you have, incorporated these plans into your day-to-day activities so that you can have, you can be accountable for it. Another thing that will help you achieve this is that you should identify what your distractions will be. Don't lie to yourself. It's just self-reflection. Oh, okay, my biggest distraction is TikTok. My biggest distraction is Twitch. My biggest distraction is PlayStation. My biggest distraction is Netflix. If you are true to yourself and you identify all of these, then you take steps in tackling all of these distractions. So I hope with all of this, I've been able to help us or take us through how Focus is an important and an essential tool for your personal growth, and also, most importantly, in the field of cybersecurity. Thank you very much.
Please, who is not clapping on this call? Who is not clapping? Oh my God, that was really amazing from Mr. Ayomi Tosi. Anything that pulls your attention away from priority task is a distraction. It could be your talking stage, yes. And I love the analogy of where you used that football thingy. And also, let's remember that the cost of distraction can be very expensive. Oluwase, you're laughing. You put that talking stage, it can be your talking stage that is your distraction. So next guest speaker that we have is our own very, should I say, our own very intentional mama. She's a young lady, yes, and who is going to be taking us through the next stage. And I'm introducing to you Miss, that Miss or Mrs. Her name is Antonia Anthony. She's a cyber assurance analyst, yes, who helps organizations stay secure by strengthening processes, managing risk, and responding effectively to security incidents. She works with tools such as the Microsoft Security Suite and Vulnerability Management System to support incident detection, analysis, and response. Also, beyond her technical work, Antonia is deeply passionate about making cybersecurity simple and accessible, exactly what we do at Cyber Cadabra, especially for people who are new to the field. She believes cybersecurity shouldn't feel intimidating, and she's committed to helping individuals and organizations understand how to stay safe in an increasingly digital world. So with Jesus' joy, with any kind of joy that you have in you, welcome Antonia Anthony on this call, and she's going to be taking us through the next session. Good afternoon, Ma. We are so delighted to have you on the call this afternoon. Please, the stage is yours.
Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're listening from. Please just signify if you can hear me clearly. Okay. Thank you very much, Emmanuel. Thank you, Kennedy. Thank you, Joy, for this opportunity. The speaker that's Emmanuel, he was directly talking to me because when it comes to distraction, I am still wearing my boxing glove with distraction, but I've picked I've picked out one or two things that would help me um, conquer distraction from this meeting. And I hope each and every one of you here has also picked out something from what Emmanuel has said. So without wasting much of our time, I just want to talk about something that we all think we do, but we are not doing it very well. So, and that is turning awareness into direction. Um, First things first, I just want to let you know that awareness without direction is just going to create noise in your career. And you can be aware of cyber threats, you can be aware of best practices, you can know cybersecurity foundations, you can know everything. Apologies, I'm just checking for a minute. One second. So you can know everything about cybersecurity, and but without direction, without a plan, your knowledge becomes useless. So today, oh, I apologize. I'm supposed to be sharing my screen, Abby. 1 second. Let me just put this together. 1 second. Again, please let me know if you can see my screen. Perfect. Okay. So thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. So the topic I'll be sharing today is setting clear, actionable cybersecurity goals, and one way to do that is turning our awareness into direction, actionable direction. So I'm going to start with the problem, and this yeah. So I'm going to start with the problem. One way we we one problem we deal with when setting goals is we make it too vague, and what vague means is there's a lot of uncertainty. You don't know where to start, and with this field that we're in, there is so much resources out there that wants to help you, but when you don't have a clear direction, you get confused, you get Oh, okay. I think Favor is going to share the slides with everyone if you need them. I think the organizers will sort that out for you. So with the goals, it becomes too uncertain. So for example, when I started my job description had I was supposed to improve cyber resilience. And we all know cyber resilience encompasses a lot of things. So I had to take a step back. I had to break that cyber resilience into smaller chunks, just as Emmanuel said, breaking your goals into smaller tasks for you to be able to accomplish them faster. So with that broad job description, I had to break it down. What are these people trying to tell me, and how can I achieve that? So it could be personal. You want to be fit in 2026. You need to stop eating about by 11 p.m. If you want to stay healthy, if you want to be consistent, you need to have a clear plan on how you want to achieve that. So another problem is the goals can be too technical. I had a situation at work. We were onboarding an external SOC, and the security consultant on our side was talking to the engineer on the SOC, the MSSP end, and he was just trying to say something about onboarding critical log sources and ensure that the logs are ingested into Sentinel, right? That is simple. Myself, yourself, any cybersecurity professional can understand what I've just said, correct? But because he has been in the field for over 25 years and Of course, he wants to sound like he knows what he's saying. He said something about, I hope I get this correctly. So he said um we would like to implement an advanced behavioral analytics for hybrid workspace that would ensure the proper utilization of the security SIM. And I'm like, for a second, the engineer was confused, and myself, I was confused. And I'm like, that can mean several things. If there was a Google Translate and you put that statement that that guy has just said, put that into a translator, I'm sure it's going to go, I don't know what you're talking about. But it's just making things very easy for yourself to be able to understand. Don't make it too technical. Don't make it too advanced for yourself. Just breaking it down in a way that you would understand. Again, I'll go back to Emmanuel, breaking it down into smaller and simpler tasks that you can understand, and anybody who you're trying to explain to would understand what you're trying to say. So the other one is being too ambitious. Yes, this one is for myself. I believe if you try to push yourself a lot, you would achieve more than you can. And it also, there's this saying that don't sell yourself short. So that way, you tend to set goals that are too ambitious. For example, 2025, I wanted to achieve CISSP, I wanted to achieve CSIM, I wanted to achieve SC200, I wanted to achieve 27,001. All of these things I wanted to achieve in 2025. Is it doable? Yes, it is. But when you don't achieve that goal, it becomes a burden for you. You start feeling like, oh, you've not accomplished a lot of things. You start comparing yourself with other people. You don't know what those people have done to achieve that certain goal. It could be that out of all the goals that they have that they want to achieve, they just picked that one and they saw it through to the end. So being too ambitious sometimes can put you in a state of dilemma, and also give you burnout. It can also give you decision fatigue. So it is good to be ambitious, but without a plan, you just be going left and right without a direction. And one second. It, apologies, I'm using two screen. Yeah, and the last one is no review or follow up. So here a lot of us can make do with accountability partner. If you feel like you cannot do this on your own, one thing I love about cybersecurity is that there's always a community for you that supports you in any way. You just need to open up. You just need to open your mouth, and you would find support in any area, in any field that you find yourself. So if when you're setting goals, you need to create a follow-up plan. You need to create a review plan. So if you're reviewing it by yourself, you need to, after a certain period of time, you need to take a step back. Okay, what have I done? What have I done correct? And what have I done wrong? And how can I correct it? So this helps you move a step further in your goal settings. It also helps you move a step further in your career journey as well. So why is setting goals, why does it matter in cybersecurity? So the first thing is cyber threats are constant. You and I know that. The more you are advancing in your security controls, the more the attackers are advancing in ways to break your security control. So threats are constant. You cannot avoid threats. So setting goals makes you have a direction on how you can curb threats early and even address it and also recover from it. So setting goals also helps you limit the resources that are available in the wild. So like I mentioned, resources are a lot. I remember when I started cybersecurity in 2022, I wanted to learn everything about cybersecurity. There was networking, there was ethical hacking, there was a lot, like, I mean, a lot. If you look left, you see materials. If you look right, you see materials. It was just a lot. So I had to narrow down my goals. Okay, I said to myself that I wanted to be in governance. I wanted to do more of oversight. I didn't want to do a lot of technical things, even if I had to, I'll just do it a little, not too much. So that way I was able to identify the resources that I needed online, and that helped me build my career throughout. So I could see resources, I can see resources on ethical hacking. I don't want to do ethical hacking, that does not concern me. So definitely I'm not going to pay attention to ethical hacking. It's okay to have the knowledge, don't get me wrong. It's okay to have the knowledge, but having an in-depth knowledge would also distract you from achieving your goals. So setting goals helps you limit the resources around you. Also, setting goals in cybersecurity gives you a direction, and direction prevents panic. I have a good example. There was a time we did a tabletop exercise in my organization. Um, they, I work in a public sector, and if you know public sector, you know that there's a lot of disorientation in public sector. There is, they are not organized. So we had a tabletop for the first time. There was no incident response plan. You and I can imagine how that tabletop exercise went. Everybody was running like a headless chicken. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know where to start, who to call. So having a direction after that tabletop, we had to go back to the drawing board to say, okay, how do we fix this? Okay, we need to have a plan. And how do we have a plan? We need to have an incident response plan. Who to call, what the person does, who is in charge of this. So the next time we had a tabletop exercise, it was more organized because everybody knew what to do. Everybody knew who to call and how to address an issue at a particular time. So having a direction helps you prevent panic. So you don't have to run around like headless chicken anymore. You don't have to do so many things. You don't have to be too busy and not productive. You have a clear path on how you want to achieve the goal. So, and also the goal also enables progress. Excuse me, it also enables progress. So when you achieve a goal, when you start with the smallest task and you achieve that task, you have this sense of fulfillment, you have this sense of satisfaction that, okay, I've been able to set a goal and I can achieve that goal. It gives you this drive to want to do more. And by doing more, you are improving your personal life, you're also improving your career as well. So and what makes a goal actionable? Right. So for a goal to be actionable, it needs to be clear. And when I mean clear, it needs to be specific. So I use a tool, I call it quadrants of goal settings. So this is just putting a straight line. Everyone knows what a quadrant is. Just put like a cross. And on this part, for each of my goals, I put what the goal is. The next quadrant, I put why why do I want to achieve this goal, or why did I put this goal in or on my list. Then the other one is how I intend to achieve it. Do I need to get more resources? Do I need to talk to people? Do I need to attend more seminars? Do I need to attend trainings and all that? And the last one is when do I want to start? When would I come back for a review, or when do I talk to somebody or my accountability partner to help me review this goal? And also, so that makes it clear. So for each of your goals you set, you ensure that it is clear, you ensure that it is measurable. How do you measure? So once you have the what, why, how, and when, you then ask yourself, okay, how do I measure success in this goal. So if you are planning to write a certification, we know that the success in that goal will be passing the exam, correct? So that is a measure that you can use. So if you're planning to transition into another cybersecurity field, what success? How do you measure success in that field? That goal, you also need to ensure that the goal is realistic. You don't wake up one morning and say, "Oh, I want to be rich." How do you want to be rich? And what does rich means to you? Rich to me can be having £5,000 in my account. Rich to you can be having £20,000 in your account. So you have to set a realistic goal. Ensure you're not blabbing, you're not trying to feel like you're setting goals. You just need to set a goal that is clear, you can measure it, and it is also very, very realistic. And also time actioned. Again, when that's setting timelines for review, for follow up, for anything basically, you just need to set a timeline and achieving that goal. By achieving that goal, you have to achieve a goal through setting a timeline. And it can a goal, making a goal actionable can be relevant to your role. This is not really mandatory, but for your career, if you know a definite line of cybersecurity career that you want to go into, this would help you stay focused, and this will help you achieve growth in that area. So make certain goals that are relevant to your role would help you excel in any organization that you find yourself, and it will also give you that satisfaction that I was talking about. So types of cybersecurity goal. So this can be personal. So this can be having a skill. Do you want to know how to navigate around security tools? You can set a goal that you want to learn how to utilize all the features of Microsoft, or all the features of AWS, or all the features of Google. You can also set a habit. Okay, you want to learn how to teach people cybersecurity. How do you want to achieve that? When do you want to do that? So like I said, using that quadrant of goal settings can help you in setting personal goals. So certification as well is also an example of personal cybersecurity goals that you can set. Career-wise, your role is also an example of cybersecurity goals that you can set. So what do you want to do? Do you want to be more technical? Do you want to just have oversight? So there are a lot of roles in cybersecurity. So having a goal would help you ration those unlimited resources. Let me just put it like that. So it helps you ration those unlimited resources, and it helps you focus on one thing at a time. So like Emmanuel said, our brain can only function one step at a time. You can't do a lot of things at the same time. So you can do additional tasks. Yes, that can help you grow your career. But when it comes to focus, your focus should remain on what adds value. Also experience, you can also set experience. So do you want to have more hands-on experience in your journey? That can also be a goal. Projects as well, setting up portfolio and then seeing it through to the end can also be a goal. So organization-wise, having policies, security controls, setting awareness trainings can also be a goal to achieve or to curb a threat in cybersecurity. So the list goes on and on and on, but with a clear with a clear plan, you should be able to navigate your career as a cybersecurity professional. So simple goal settings framework that we can use. I've mentioned one. You can also make use of the SMART 2, that is specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time bound. So you can also use that as a framework to help you navigate through goal settings. You can also use the quadrants that I mentioned, the what, why, how, and when. You can also use that to set your goals. Common mistake, I'm just going to rush through this. Common mistakes that we do is waiting for a perfect condition. You want to have a 35 inches monitor to be able to read. You want to have proper lighting in your room before you can read. You want to um, the examples are endless. It keeps on going. And another mistakes that I myself have made in the past and still making is setting too many goals at once. It's okay to set goals, a lot of goals, but again, our brain kind of focus on so many things. It can only be one thing. So for you to be able to set an actionable goal, you need to focus on one. It's okay to have list of priority goals, and it's okay for you to pick top 5 and then walk through them based on the efforts that it requires, resources that it requires. This would help you shrink the list into 1 or 2 that you can focus on. Also, copying other people's goals in cybersecurity. If you are not focused on your journey, you can easily miss it because people are doing a lot of things. People are achieving a lot of things way better than you are. But if you're trying to copy what those people are doing, you don't know the line they're going to, you don't know the journey they've been on, you don't know the sacrifice they've made to achieve that goal. So you copying that would make you feel less of yourself, would make you sell yourself short, would also make you feel fatigued and also frustrated. There are so many times that I've thought about quitting this career because I always look at people, what people are doing. I'm trying to copy the strategy that a person is doing, forgetting that I am different from that person. The person's strategy might not work for me. So all you need to do as a cybersecurity professional is to identify the strategy that works for you. Another mistake we make is ignoring progress tracking. So this can come in form as tracking your small wins. So if you are able to complete one line of, if you say you want to read for a certification and you're able to complete one line in a day, that is a win. That is also a progress towards achieving that certification. So you need to track that down. Okay, so today I read one line. Okay, I'm going to try to push myself to read 2 lines tomorrow. If you read 2 lines tomorrow, you clap for yourself. You need to encourage your growth. You need to encourage your progress in this career to be able to function well and to also set actionable goal that would help you in your career. So I'm just going to give you a small action step that you can take. You can write down one cybersecurity goal that you want to achieve in 2026. Break it down into quarterly action. So maybe I should give everyone time. So if you have a pen and a paper or you have your phone, you can use your notepad and write down one cybersecurity goal that you wish to achieve in 2026. I've got my pen and I've got my paper. So we'll do this together so you don't feel alone. So like I said, cybersecurity is a community that is filled with support. So if you're struggling in any area, if you're struggling with how you can set the goals, you can actually speak up. Someone can or will help you in this cybersecurity community that you find yourself. So I'm going to give everybody 1 minute to write down one cybersecurity goal that you want to achieve. And if you feel like you want to share that goal, please raise up your hand and I would call you up to just share the goal. Tell us how you want to achieve it and if you need an accountability partner. So 1 minute, please write down a cybersecurity goal that you want or wish to achieve. I would do same. Okay. So does anybody want to go first? Okay, I'll just run through mine. So mine for 2026, I want to achieve a certification, a recognized certification. Why I want to do that would help me to help my career growth. It will also help my stay. Let me just put it, my stay in cybersecurity. It would also advance my knowledge of cybersecurity. How I would achieve this goal is to set to read for at least 30 minutes a day. And when will I do that? I've already started it, but I'm just going to share with you guys. I would be reading for at least 30 minutes a day, and I will come back in 2 to 3 months' time to okay. Marvelous. Do you have a question? Marvelous. Okay, that's
But
fine.
she
So
can't, sorry for interrupting. She can't really speak now. But if anybody has a question, they can drop it in the chat box below. They can drop everything in the chat box below because we are running behind time already.
all right, okay. Let me just quickly wrap up. So you just need to break it down into review period where you can come back to review yourself. So if you cannot do it yourself, if you feel like you're not disciplined enough to review yourself, you can talk to somebody, and there will always be someone there to help you. So thank you very much for your time, and apologies for running ahead or running out of my time or whatever. But thank you so much, everyone. Have a lovely day.
Thank you so much, Miss Antonia. Anthony, Mrs. rather. So is anybody clocking it over there? Please clock it, clock it, clock it. Yeah, two things I got from our awareness without this direction, we create noise. And please stop eating Eba by 11. That was one of the things she mentioned. So we're going to our final speaker for the day. And man, I am sat. Like I am sat by Jevaje. So our final speaker for the day is coming from, yeah, that's Mr. Ife Abimbola Olulesi. I don't know if that's correct. He's an AI software engineer, technology leader, and community builder, passionate about using innovation to solve real societal problems. With over 7 years of multi-sector experience across GovTech, EdTech, MedTech, LandTech, and AI, his work has impacted communities in Africa and the United States. And presently, Ife works as an AI software engineer at MTN Nigeria. So in case you have any issue with your MTN network now, start dropping everything you need to ask in the comment section. Contributing to the AI infrastructure and agentic systems, powering MTN's digital platform across Africa, shaping how millions engage with intelligent technologies daily. So please, let's jam our hands together for Mr. Ife Abimbola Olulesi. Is going to be our last speaker for the day. And meanwhile, we should also know that the presentation, the PowerPoint, and everything would be sent to the community. So you're going to get all of the presentation and the recording to this event, to this webinar. You're going to be getting it. Mr. Ife, the floor is yours. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you so much. Could I get a confirmation? Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. I guess a powerful introduction. And thanks for casting me too. But yeah, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you so much, Mr. Ologun, for this opportunity to speak, and to the powerful speakers whose sessions held before mine. I think it's been quite like a TEDx event that you're paying for, that I didn't pay for, really powerful stuff they shared. Thank you so much, Ayamiko and Antonia. I'm here to talk about something really interesting, very dear to my heart. But just before then, could you just have a little engagement in the comments section? Just share where you're listening from. If you're listening from Lagos, just drop it in the chat. I'm listening from Lagos. If you're from a time zone 12 hours ahead, let's let's have it, and let's celebrate you as well. Yeah, let me open the comment section just to check. Awesome. Ogun, Nigeria, powerful. Oh gosh, this is amazing. This is amazing. Anyone from Mars here? All right, let's just have a few more and then we'll get started. Abuja, powerful, marvelous. I see you. Hi. Any other person wants to share? Oh, awesome. UK. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. All right. Just before the call started, there was this joke that Favor shared. Or was it Favor or Mr. Ologun? That was if you're in the UK, write down name in the snow for us. Quite amazing. I see you, Insikong. Hope I pronounced that right. Kende, USL. That's powerful. You guys should clock that. But yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, we're going right into it now, and I'm here to talk about something really, really, really powerful, right? And they say start where you are, and you could look at this as an instruction saying start where you are. You could also think about it like an advice. Why don't you start where you are? But I'd like to come from the perspective of an experience, all right? And just going to, sorry, okay, now my slides are misbehaving, interesting. All right, there you have it, right? So this was me, 2023, Lagos, London, I see that. This was me in 2023, and I had just finished. I was still serving actually. I finished school 2022. She's saying, Jesus, calm down. Yeah, and I'm going to be sharing my plywood story. I refer to it as plywood because what you see on the screen, that is actually a plywood desk, right? So at this point in time, I just finished school. I didn't have enough money to afford proper furniture. Thankfully, I had a job at a company. But then, yeah, copper, and then that was before they increased the salary to like 77K. Now where coppers are earning cumulatively 6 figures. I really can't relate to that. Then my salary was like 33. Everything did not even reach up to 60K, But I was working in tech, I was writing code, and I really couldn't afford furniture. So I had to make do with what I had. If you can see, I had a keyboard there. I'm a musician. So I took the keyboard stand and then I found the plywood somewhere in the house, put it on top, and I found my table. And this was where most of the foundation that helped my career today. This was where it was built, right? This was where I learned a lot of the concepts that helped me move fast today at my current role. All right. But then moving into 2024, this was me speaking at TEDx Unilag on the left. And I'll share that story as we move on in this session today. And then thankfully in 2025, I got into MTN where I work as an AI software engineer now. There are a couple of things to point out from here, a couple of thoughts that I would love to share with you, right? And the first one would be this. What if I said that I was going to wait until I have a big screen, a 32-inch screen like Antonia shared before I start building my career? What if I said I'm going to wait until I have a proper furniture? Why would I be using plywood to learn coding now? I'm going to wait until I have a standing desk before I begin practicing. I probably won't start speaking before you today. You see, the point I'm trying to make, my friends, is that readiness in itself is a myth. I think that many people are inherently gifted, but they haven't come to accept their giftings. And because of that, they diminish their potentials. What do I mean? Many people say, no, I need more tools before I start. I need more time before I start. Oh, I'm not ready yet for whatever reasons. But the truth is, I've come to realize that you are ready wherever you say you are. And that readiness is not a function of your environment, but it's a function of your mind. When you say you're ready, you are ready to start. Yes, you may not have the financial resources, but there's something powerful that I live by. It says that visions are born twice. They're first of all born in your heart before people see it outside. And so what that means is if the vision hasn't been birthed in your heart first, it's not going to be seen at all. That's the myth of readiness. And just to piggyback a bit to share on how I got to speak at TEDx Unilag, it's a very, very powerful story. I remember that day I was in church. I think the service had concluded and I was in the media room and I was just scrolling through, I'm not sure which social media platform that was, but I eventually came across the link it was a call for speakers. And incidentally, I came across the link about, I think it was 72 hours to the close of the registration. And it was a call for speakers. And I'm like, why not? Remember, this was 2024. I had never spoken at TEDx events. I was still on my plywood table. Yes, I need to say that. I was still on my plywood table, right? But I thought about that. What's the worst that could happen, right? A couple of ideas of thoughts came to mind, of obviously negative thoughts that do I really, should someone using a plywood table even be privileged to do this, or do I really have what it takes, or would they listen to me? Would I be picked? And on and on and on and all of those imaginations, right? But then I considered two possible outcomes. The first outcome, which is I could apply and not get picked. Okay. But the second one is I could apply and get picked. And I said, well, I'm going to do either of that, right? But you see, the thing is, the surface area of choice would not exist if I don't apply. So if I do apply, I increase my chances of getting picked or not. And I decided that I'd rather live with the knowledge of knowing that I tried, I applied, and I wasn't picked, rather than live with the regrets of not applying and wishing I had, if possible, that I could have been picked, right? The point I'm trying to make here, my friends, is this, that, and I mean, thankfully, as you can see, out of about 200 people that applied, I was the only one that got to speak at that event. And since then, I've had a series of speaking engagements, right? The key is this, that readiness is in your heart, all right? And you are who you say you are. So if you tell yourself you're not ready, then you're truly not ready. No amount of motivation will help you. But if you tell yourself, I'm ready, yes, I'm ready. And of course, as you're telling yourself, you're also putting in the work, right? But let's just check in a couple of things. Why do people delay starting, right? There's the most common one, which is the fear of failure. And I think that anything you fear would certainly most likely come to pass. Here's an example. Let's say we have a fish who does not accept that it can swim, or it's scared of the water. It does not accept it, right? It's scared. What if I drown, And it's by the beach. Now it needs the water to live. All right. However, it's scared that it will drown in the water. Truth be told, if it does not believe it can swim, if you throw that fish into the water, it's going to drown because it does not accept it. Right? Favor is doing her thing in the chats, that is the truth. But you and I know that fishes are inherently gifted with the ability to swim. I'm trying to say that each and every one of us have giftings within us to be more than we currently see ourselves as. But if you fear failure, you really won't achieve anything. All right. Throughout my journey in the tech industry, it's been about 7-8 years now. I've experienced a lot of failures. I've experienced breaking. In fact, there was one day that what was I doing then? I was working on a live project, a government project, and it was live, and hundreds of thousands of users. And I wanted to make an update, a deployment, and I went to press spoil, and it crashed on production. Oh my god. Oh geez, my heart froze when I checked, and I just have to go and undo. You see, the point I'm making is that in this tech journey, whether it's cybersecurity, whatever you're doing, there are always going to be times where you make mistakes, right? But we don't fear our mistakes. No, mistakes only make us stronger, all right? And then there's the other myth of comparison. You compare yourself to other people, right? I've come to understand that people are different. I've come to understand that people have different giftings and we are all unique. Because of our uniqueness, my journey would most likely be different from your journey. And that person A got to point 100 in 2 days does not mean that if it takes me 10 days to get there, I was late. No, it doesn't mean that. We have people who are skilled at art inherently as a gift, as a talent. They have one head. You have people who are also not skilled at art, but they are skilled at maths. It does not mean one is better than the other. What I'm trying to say is that identify what makes you unique. Accept your weaknesses, focus on your strengths, and bring out beauty and value out of it. And then there's a third one, which is quite absurd, to be honest, and it is the myth of perfectionism. Right now, this is for those who have conquered the fear of failure and you've said, oh, I'm not afraid of failure anymore. I'm going to do it. I've accepted the consequences, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to start moving. That's beautiful. And you've also conquered the comparison that I'm not comparing myself to the other people. I'm not going to be depressed if this person is doing A, B, C, D, and I'm still on A. That's awesome. And now you're on your way. But then there's this subtle trap of perfectionism, whereby you keep on going around in cycles because you did not hit 100 over 100. Even though you hit 95, you're waiting, you must get 100 before you move forward. And I think that is quite strange because humans themselves are inherently imperfect. And if humans are inherently imperfect, you won't expect a mango to come from an apple tree. I'm trying to say that in imperfections, we find beauty. Here's an example. Just to check in, how many of us know about DeepSeek? If you know about DeepSeek, how would I get that feedback in the chat? Just say hi, or I don't know if you can raise your hands or something, but just reactions here with your thumbs up. Just if you know about DeepSeek, just thumbs up. Awesome, 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 awesome. Thank you so much. That's powerful. When OpenAI released GPT-3, that was they came out, that was 2022 thereabouts. For the most part of 2022, 2023, they were the leaders. They were the market leaders globally. And they were shaking things, right? And of course, as America would do, they wanted to have monopoly of the AI market globally. So what they did was they began to impose sale bans on China, meaning that they were not going to sell their semiconductors. They were not going to sell, to break it down, the computers, the powerful computers to China, with the intent of ensuring that China cannot create models to compete against theirs. And that was a real blocker for China. But you see what China did. In the midst of that difficulty, we see what came out from DeepSeek. That was when you saw a very powerful application of a technique in AI called model distillation. So what model distillation means is you pick an existing model, let's call it a teacher, and then you run some algorithms to take the performance of that model and condense it into a smaller model, but that performs at the same accuracy of that bigger model. So what they did was they picked from OpenAI, they picked from Llama, which is from Facebook, combined it together and created a very powerful model, and they launched it. And they did that even though they didn't have access to those semiconductors that America wanted to hinder them from. You see, what I'm trying to say is that in the midst of difficulties, gold can be found. And that's why I'm very happy to be a Nigerian. And that's why I'm happy I didn't grow up in a system where NEPA is consistent. That's why I'm happy that sometimes NEPA does take light. Because even in the midst of these difficulties, it's building a strength in us. And guess what? When DeepSeek released that model, the US stock market, it bled red. It's bled red. All of to date, that is the greatest single day loss in the US market history. Wow. Wow. That's very powerful, my friends. And so, bringing this to a close, I'm letting you know that you don't wait to be perfect. You start where you are, with your current knowledge, with your current plywood table, with your current piano keyboard stand. You start where you are. And finally, let me use this analogy. Our previous speaker spoke about goals and distractions. You see, goals are destinations. So for example, if I want to go on a road trip from here to Canada, Winnipeg is my destination. However, the fact that I have a destination does not mean I have the means to get there. To get there, if it's a road trip, I need fuel in my vehicle. Without fuel, even though I have the goal, I'm never going to get there. In 2026, it's beautiful that you set your goals, but the fuel for achieving your goals is something called hunger. It's a deep desire that I must achieve my goals no matter what. Many people set their goals, they write them down, vision board, place it on their walls, and they sit there and say, yes, these are my goals. I've made it. I tell you, they will repeat those goals in 2027. In fact, carryover, I think that was from the first speaker. He said carryover. You see, it's not goals, it's hunger. I'll share something a bit controversial. Stepping into 2025, I didn't set a single goal. I didn't. I'm not recommending it. No. I, in fact, advise people to set goals. But I didn't tell those that I was mentoring or those that look up to me. I just kept it with them because I was consumed with hunger. And when I looked back, when I was reflecting on my year 2025 as we round up this session, I discovered that the things that I had achieved in 2025, as at the beginning of the year, I couldn't even imagine them to write them down as goals. That is what hunger gives you. Starting 2026, I have a couple of objectives in mind, a couple of places I want to be, not clearly defined yet. But the first week of 2026, I entered with so much hunger. I basically found myself locked in. Yes, I was posting on LinkedIn, but I tell you, I was locked in, spending hours. I was working on an AI side project, and I wanted to be done with this in the fastest record time. It drove me to learn so much that I hadn't known before. And this is just the first week of 2026. If there's one thing I want you to pick from here, my friends, is that hunger is a lot. My time has gone. To touch a bit on tracking your journey. One thing that helps a lot is journaling. I write down a lot. I track things, right? And it helps me because when I'm feeling low, when I'm feeling like, oh gosh, what is wrong with this thing? This security team, they've come and they've brought their CVEs again and they've brought this thing. By the way, I'm an engineer, right? So security guys in my company are always, it's always very wonderful. I mean, I don't know whether Mr. Logo wanted to set me up today, but I was saying that tracking my journey has helped me to reflect, and it inspires me when I'm feeling down, and then I go through and I'm like, oh wow, I was able to achieve these things. I was able to go through this journey. I was able to go through this difficulty, and it didn't kill me. I'm still alive. I didn't break, but instead I was able to achieve it. If I can do that, then I can do the next one. And so this is my encouragement to you to track your journey. I use a tool called Obsidian. It helps me a lot. You could use Notion, you could use Apple Note, you could use whatever works for you. But the last thing I want to leave you with is this, that no matter where you're coming from, no matter where you're starting out from, I believe this like I know my name, that great things come from small places. Yes, people may not know me now. My name may not be that popular. You might still be on your plywood desk. You might still be learning from your phone. I remember then I didn't have access to a laptop at that time, and I completed an SQL course just on my phone, my notebook, and my pen on this plywood table. I didn't even have access to a laptop. It was later when the laptop came, right? But I'm very sure of one thing, that great things come from small places. I'm a person of faith, and I love the way the scripture puts it. It says that despise not the days of your beginning. For though your beginning was small, your latter end must greatly increase. That's just not a spiritual principle. It is wisdom. It is wisdom, and it's a law that if you continue in diligence from your starting, it's very sure that your ending will be great. It's been such a great time speaking with you today. Thank you so much, Mr. Olug and the organizers, for this powerful session. I'm looking forward to hearing your testimonies. I'm looking forward to celebrating your big wins. And thank you so much for listening. Cheers.
All right. Thank you, Ife, Abimbola, Olesi. Please, we want to clap for all of the speakers, from Emmanuel Alade to Anthony, and then to Ife Abimbola. If you are listening to my voice, my name is Kendi Olugun. I am the founder of Cyber Cadabra. I did not plan to speak today actually, but we had some issues from Dunis and Favor's end, and I'll just take up our space, right, to close up the event. And we appreciate everyone that joined this call, from the speakers to the listeners. And I met Emmanuel, I think about around last year or 2 years ago. I met Antonia also before she left. Also, she left the country. Antonia used to be one of my clients, and then clients became friends. I think I met Ife at an event last year, also late last year, and then it has been nothing short of wonderful. So these guys are great people in the field, and I think these are people that we also want to connect with. We can connect with them on LinkedIn, Emmanuel Ade, Anthony, and then if you have Bimbola, if you have questions that you need to ask them. So if you have questions, you can drop them in the chat box. We'll take your questions. Apologies also for eating into your time, right? For taking your time. And then we are supposed to share a tracker. We have we created these topics, right, to have a flow from the distractions that we face. Once you're able to overcome that distraction, then you're able to set actionable, trackable goals. And then you can start wherever you are. You're starting where you are now. I can tell you that you can be whatever you want to be. Let me just quickly give a little thing about myself, right? March 1st, 2026, this year, I'll be 4 years in cybersecurity. But I can tell you that what I've achieved in 4 years, there are people in the field of cybersecurity for 15 years that have not achieved it. Last year, I wrote 9 professional exams. I have currently, I think I have close to 20 professional certifications. Why? Because I sat down and I set goals for myself. This year, I just want to write 2. It is possible I write more than 2, but this year I'm focused on 2, and that is CISA and CGEIT. So once I write those 2, I know I'm done for the year. If I write it in the first quarter of this year, I know I am done for this year. I don't need to write anything. But if I write others, it's a plus. Whether I pass or fail, right? It's a plus to me. So we appreciate everybody. Just to let us know that Cyber Cadabra is an initiative. It's a push to democratize cybersecurity, to speak the language that everybody understands, and then we'll be pushing out, pre-trainings, events like this within the year. So for the cybersecurity tracker that we have come up with, because of our time, we won't be able to share it. We are going to make a video, and then we upload it on our YouTube page. We'll share the videos with everybody that joined the call, and then we'll also share the tracker with you so that you can track your cybersecurity goals. We are also going to create a platform where you can share your goals with us, right? We are going to select at random people that we want to be involved in their goals for 2026. We can select up to 10 to 20 people, right? And then we will be the one to do follow-up where we can support you financially and any other parts, right? If you need materials, where we can support. If you need a mentor, we can push you through to a mentor. So that's the plan for this. And then every quarter, we also try to bring everybody together again to just like a checkpoint. What have you done for this quarter? What have you achieved based on what you have documented that you want to achieve, right? So Cyber Cadabra also, we've currently partnered with a basketball initiative, Ball Cave, to support their mission 500, to get 500 shoes for youths. We are always interested in youths. We are going to push out cybersecurity content to these youths, even though they are playing basketball. We're also partnering with the SCG government of Yaba College of Technology on an initiative for the females. So if you also have an initiative that we can speak at a program in your church, in your mosque, wherever, and then you want us to be part, yes, you can reach out to us at office@cybercadabra.ng, and then we'll review and reach out to you, right, as appropriate. So we also have an event coming up, right, January 31st. If you're in the field of GRC, I think you really want to register. So the registration link will come out next week, where we'll be talking about the significance of guidelines in ISO standards. This one, I know that some of the consulting firms, they are going to get annoyed with some of the secrets we are going to open here, because we want to show you the Pandora box, right, where the secret is and how you can get better in implementing ISO standards and relevant standards within the field. So if it has dropped his LinkedIn, you can also reach out to me on LinkedIn, on Twitter, Cyber Cadabra, on Instagram, Cyber Cadabra, and then my PA or the branch strategist will be available to speak with you. If you have questions, please share your questions with us. Because of time, we may not be able to take questions again. But we just want to unmute everybody just to appreciate the speakers and then tell them how wonderful they are. Just appreciate the speakers. We'll be unmuting everyone. Now, let me see. Okay, yeah, you can turn on your microphone. Please let's appreciate the speakers. If giving us part of their time, and then they've been nothing short of and wonderful. So thank you everyone for joining this webinar. Please, you can unmute your mic. If you want to say thank you, you can say thank you. I think everybody can speak now. You can say thank you to the speakers. All right. So thank you everyone for joining this webinar. Please enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, everyone.
Yeah, bye. Thank you very much, Kenny. And everyone.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.